Hello, everyone. Welcome to VOD of Consciousness with Sientir. I'm Sientir. I've cleaned out my inventory. You can support me on Patreon at patreon.com/Sientir. And we're here at the hard mode, Nolani Academy, because we, by we I mean me, are attempting to do the Young Heroes of Tyria hard mode. So we've done the Great Northern Wall, Fort Rannoch, and the Ruins of Sirmia. But now we're here for Nolani Academy, number 5. I'm not sure. I feel like there's only like 2 more interior. Maybe there's a 3rd. I'm not sure. I'm not sure where this ends because I know of like 5 or like 2 in Cantha and 3 in Alona. Maybe there's 4 though. I'm not sure. Anyway, I kind of want to talk to this Flaming Scepter Mage. And he says, it was here that word reached Prince Rurik of the discovery of Stormcaller Nation artifact, rumored to have the ability to defend all of Ascalon, was activated. Rurik, along with a small contingent of Flaming Scepter Mages, were trapped behind the sealed doors of Nolani Academy with no clear passage to Rin or the mighty Stormcaller. So it just gives us like historical context of the mission that we're about to do, so I'm not going to bother reading all of that. Interesting in fact, if you click on these, they give you descriptions of these things. So in Nolani Academy, it says, none of Ascalon's academies of magic remain intact after the searing. In its prime, the Academy of Nolani was known all across Tyria as one of the most prestigious schools of magic on the entire continent. Ambassadors from Or and Kryta often made special arrangements to have their children study here, even though they were not of Ascalon descent. What does it say about Sirmia? Just outside the Great Northern Wall lie the ruins of a once great city. This was Sirmia, one of the kingdom's cultural and economic centers. Built in a time of great optimism, the founders laughed at any who criticized the wisdom of placing a city outside the protection of the wall. I think it probably fell relatively early. But yeah, so all of these have like little descriptions, like Fort Rannoch, for example. It says, Fort Rannoch was a facility used by the Ascalon military to train new soldiers to fight in the guild wars. When the wars ended, the fort itself, like most other buildings in Ascalon, had been almost completely destroyed. All that remains are the outer walls and the memories of what once was. So you get stuff like that. Useful little descriptors. We do not actually have the outposts for the 2 missions in the Shiver Peaks. Once we complete Nolani Academy, I believe we just get straight up teleported to Yaxbend, which we've already visited on this character some time ago. But anyway, that's enough delaying and looking at random lore and things like that. The Dice of Lowlands are out that way. We could get here from Greenwich Courthouse if we wanted to. It would be a bit of a walk, but we could do it. Be much easier in normal mode. But we're in hard mode for this, so let's continue. The other thing about the next missions is we're going to have a bigger party. This 4-person party is very oppressive. So it says, return Prince Rurik south of the wall to safety. So we need to do a bunch of random stuff. A couple of Flaming Scepter Mages talking about controlling some obelisks. And Rurik says, the Charr archers have us pinned down. We must not waste time. The lives of countrymen are at stake. You'll need to sneak out the path to the east and ambush those rangers. So basically what's going on here is there's a couple of options for how we approach this. There are a bunch of Charr out here, as you can see, like a whole bunch of Charr. And so they have us pinned down at this, the remains of this academy. That lever opens the front door. Needless to say, that is near suicidal. You can do it in normal mode on like a farming tank alley and solo all of those Charr when they're like instantly dying to you. But, we're trying to get... Here's the wall, right? And we're trying to get south of it. So our option is open the gate and get absolutely destroyed by a bunch of Charr. And we can see here, sneak out and ambush the Charr forces besieging the academy, return to the Nolani Academy to rendezvous with Prince, defend Prince Rurik on the way back to the capital city of Rin. So hopefully we can avoid dying to some of the elementalist bosses in the area. It may have been worth it for me to figure out a way to include, like, Cry of Frustration on my bar or something instead of Epidemic. Now that I think about it, that might be better. Is that better enough to go... Yeah. Okay, because we just started the mission and I'm losing basically no time by doing this. Now that I'm thinking about it, I do want to have Cry of Frustration instead of Epidemic. Because of meteor showers, I want to be able to stop them. And Cry of Frustration gives me the ability to stop them, whereas Epidemic does not. So Prince Rurik will continue his little chat. You can see there's a Charr stalker that runs out through the back here. So you can see we lost no time with me doing that quick skill change before we actually started the mission. I do like the idea of having some defense. But anyway, there's a back way here. And so we want to slip out this back way and make our way around over to where they are. I forget. Oh, do I have? Yeah, I have R and no, I have R and T cycle through my party. Something I did when I was monking more heavily than I am now. It's really hard to play a monk and with just heroes because you have to tell your heroes to attack. They will not do it on their own. This is actually one of the deadlier groups because we don't have any minions up. Just random aside. You can see that the Axe Fiend is killing himself on me. Though not too bad, we survived the encounter. That's good. I don't know how often I'm going to use Cry of Frustration, but I realistically didn't use Epidemic that much either. And having the ability to say no to a meteor shower just seems way better. So that's why I swapped to that. Was there... If I didn't get it, it probably was not worth it. Okay, so we're going to leave Prince Rurik behind. He's not going to follow us on this part, which is really good. Ruins of Sturmia is really the mission that secured the prince's reputation as a suicidal maniac. It really, really is. You'll notice the Charr is actually fighting the Devourers. They're not always allied. I just think that's an interesting detail. It's always nice when enemies fight each other. Sometimes it just doesn't make sense for all enemies to be allied from a faction standpoint. So when they're not, that's actually kind of a nice thing to see, as it were. Yeah, and I can just interrupt that guy, which is really nice to be able to do. Throw enough stuff at him to stop him from doing anything. That's really nice too. Okay. I'm actually surprised how just a little bit of a dip in the domination magic on my Paragon has been super helpful. Hey, a couple Ascalonian Rangers. That's really nice. Okay, so we need to make our way through some of these foothill cliff areas. Oh, more Devourers, as one would expect. Virulence on the minions isn't bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. Yeah, I don't have any minions, so it doesn't show anything up on that panel. I just love cutting out Devourer's guts, which, I mean, I think that's kind of gross. Cracked armor. Cracked armor doesn't actually do a whole lot on characters like that. It does do quite a bit on me, because it would basically cut off like a quarter of my armor or something like that. But, because I have 80 base armor. I haven't talked about this a whole lot, but yeah. So if you look at all of my armor, it's 80 base armor, whereas these guys are all 60 based. 3 to 60 depending upon level, it says, but they're basically base 60 armor. And armor in this game is on a per 40 sort of scale, so every 40 armor halves damage. So 60 is calibrated to be 0. So he says he got separated while on a scouting mission, so we'll gladly bring him with us. So 60 armor means that you take the rated damage that things are rated for. More armor means that you take less, with every 40 armor being halved. You can see how long I've been playing. And less will increase it. So if you have 20 armor, damage against you is doubled. And if you have 100 armor, it is halved. So when I have had that warrior shot that I was using for a little while, Save Yourselves, that gives plus 100 armor. That is having and then like quartering. So what is that, like 1/2 times 1/2 1/4 times 1/4, so it's like a 16th of the damage or something. It's absolutely ridiculously potent damage reduction is what I'm saying. For damage that respects armor. Not all damage does, which is important to know as well. And somewhere around here, I believe there's a bonus kind of up in these foothills. I don't remember what it is like usual. I'll probably remember when I see it, because it's just been ages since I've been through here, but I'd rather fight Carrion Devourers, because they aren't making me miss. And those guys kill themselves off of empathy anyway, so yay. Again, I've been super impressed with empathy. It has been highly effective. And I'm glad we have these couple of rangers with us, actually. It's really nice. You can see all these searing crystals up here. This area is wrecked. Oh, wow. A bunch of flash gargoyles over that way. I forget. Do we need to go over there? We probably need to go over there. Or maybe we need to go this way. I honestly don't remember. Huh. Seeing those seeing those Moa birds, by the way, like if I click on one, you can see it's level 3, which is not very high. There is a skill in the game called Otyug's Cry. Well, it still is in the game, but it's not. It does not do the same thing anymore. And what it used to do is make wild enemies hostile to your enemies and give them a bunch of armor, but they were like all level 5, so it's just completely ineffective. It was a joke of a skill. It later got changed to be something actually useful, which I approve of. There's one thing of like skills that are niche and you're not sure how to apply it, and then skills that are just straight up not useful. So anytime they can get rid of skills that are straight not useful, I kind of am in favor of that. I'm not sure if there's a reason for me to go off this way. Okay, there we are. Watchman Promise. I believe talking to him allows us to activate the bonus. And I don't remember what it is, but I want to go over here and talk to him because I believe that's it. Like, you're rewarded for exploration with bonuses, basically. Stuff like that. What do you say? He says, I took the Tome of the Fallen from the graveyard. The captain ordered me, but I didn't know it was cursed. Now the spirits of those who lost their lives on the wall are roaming free. Please, take it back to the graveyard for me. So, this is really an awkward type of thing. He wants us to cart this back to this graveyard. The problem is, while I'm carrying it, I cannot attack. This is a problem with a number of bonuses in the game. It's a design flaw that was mitigated in the original construction of the game, but could still be present. Basically, if you're a physical attacker, holding an item like this prevents you from being able to use your weapon, as you would expect. However, my not being able to use my weapon is extremely debilitating to me. It's not debilitating, however, to say Talcora to not be able to use her weapon, because she doesn't need it to operate. So what that basically means is that if I'm going to do this bonus, I'm going to have to carry this book around and then drop it regularly, which is a bit awkward. And I forget where the graveyard is. That's the other follow-up here. Oh, good. Got lightning strike and lightning orb and stuff. But basically, he didn't know the book was cursed. He wants us to give it back. I'm going to take a quick moment because I don't necessarily want to explore all the way over there. Now, I'm actually going to go ahead and look up Nolani Academy to see where... I want to look at a map to see where this needs to get dropped off. So, okay, it looks like this gets dropped off on, like, the other side. Where am I? I'm over here. Okay, so it looks like I basically need to cart this to the opposite side of the map. Judging by what I'm looking at here. So, I'm gonna take this book with me because it's worth a bunch of experience points, but you can understand why I'd be a little bit less than enthusiastic about carting a book around with me that prevents me from being able to use my, or that makes it more awkward to use my skills. You might notice there's a small drop item button here. You can click that to do it. I have it on as a formality. You can just hit the equip weapon button and it will also work. Yeah. So if you just hit, like, if I hit F4, for example, for my current weapon set that I'm using, it will, wow, barely get that off in time. It will go ahead and use or it'll drop the item for me as well. Just a little note about how the controls work, I guess. So this next section, if I recall, has us actually running across the top part of the wall. You can see some of the place we're going to get to. I think that's kind of where we're trying to get to. But we're going to need to make our way over there. And for that, we're going to need to travel down here through the wall. I really do love the sort of design of Ascalon, though. It's really nostalgic and nice to be able to come back here. And I like the music here because of how desolate it sounds, which is so appropriate to the location. Some watchmen. Oh, man, just look at that. Look at that view. Isn't that incredible? Flaming Scepter Mage informing us that he'll continue to man the obelisk. I think over that way is where the graveyard is, by the way, so we just need to make our way over there. We're going to need to clear out some of these guys. Eventually, our goal is to get back up there to where the prince is. I don't need this up right now, but it's going to take us a little bit to get over there. And I do want this up. And where we want to go is over this way. And through here, there's going to be some angry dead spirits, and they're going to attack us. And there's going to be some devourers, as there always is. Whiptail devourers, of course. Yeah, take that, all that AoE damage from Cry of Frustration. That's the one killing himself on the thing. Yeah, empathy doing its job. I do really enjoy how effective empathy is. There are some hold items, by the way, that have positive beneficial effects attached to them. Ritualists have a bunch built into their profession. You can see the Spirits of the Fallen over there. That's where we need to get this book back to. So that's kind of our goal, as it were. Ooh, a longsword. That's kind of cool. Okay, let's use this for some energy. There's another bonus elsewhere, by the way, that requires you to like carry an offering in a pot, and you like can't drop it or something. It's super awful. You might recognize these things from the Greenwich Courthouse area. They don't come up often, but... what? No, not F5, F4. Okay, and that should get that guy taken care of. I've gotten so much chitin from... I think it's pronounced chitin. From all of these devourers. But somewhere over here, in the midst of all these Spirits of the Fallen, is the location that this Tome of the Fallen goes in. Apparently these guys are not terribly active. They probably don't leave corpses for our minions, though, which is very obnoxious. We'll always have Flesh Golem. That's the hope, anyway. Okay, so you can see the pedestal over there. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to carefully navigate this area to avoid getting, like, killed by a ton of overwhelming quantities of spirits. And, like, so you can see the dead being alive is not a big deal in this game. It happens a lot. Oh, they're just going to chew through our minions. It's not great. Why have you not done this? Sometimes I question the AI's thought process. I guess they're hexed with the thing that makes them take more damage. War Master Kasana. Is that some random NPC that was with us? I guess I have so many defensive things on me that I'm just not taking very much damage. One of the things that's being a huge problem here is these guys are just like inky warriors. They're not dealing a whole lot of damage, but they don't give us any corpses to refresh our minions with, which is really annoying. So, like, we're killing them okay. So it turns out just physical attackers with, like, almost no skills are not actually threatening. But they're all a bunch of ghostly corpses, which aren't fleshy, so they don't leave us any minions, which means that our minion master is vaguely useless. I do like the touch that there's a, Grenth. There's a Grenth, thing here. You can see. It's a mural of Grenth. So, that's good. What you'd expect from something like this. These guys are pretty non-threatening. There we go. And I don't remember if more dudes will spawn at the bottom of this or not. As you can see, those guys are kind of like guards that don't do much. Okay, let's just return this. And that makes all the spirits despawn, I believe. Shouldn't that give us our bonus as well? Oh, we need to talk to this old Ascalon spirit. It says, these spirits are at peace because of you. They gave their lives protecting the wall. The story of our destruction was foretold long ago. Our names might as well have been written in the Flameseeker prophecies. Heed the words of the prophet. The sons of Ascalon must not die in vain. One of the things that I have as a complaint about this game, actually, which I don't level very often, probably should level more often than I do, but and we get the secondary mission of the bonus complete. One of the things that I have as a complaint about this game is that it does not give us the text of the Flameseeker prophecies at any useful point in time. If Rurik had, like, spoken them, or during pre-searing Ascalon, or something, like, it's talked about a lot, but the exact text of the Flameseeker prophecies, which is apparently fairly well known, is, like, never brought up. And I think that's really unfortunate. It makes the plot less clear than it could be. I don't know. I wish that it had been brought up because I think it would help. But maybe going over here was a mistake. There turns out, Alcoridir, could you not face tank? Could you in fact please not face tank? I mean, I guess you can, like, be covered in Guardian and other things and it'll kind of work, but I'm not surprised that happened. Okay, well, clearly it was a mistake to come over here. It looked like there were a couple... My thought was, oh, there's a couple of Devourers over here. We can kill them and get some minions up. And it turns out there were a lot of Devourers over here. And we can't just kill them and get some minions up. My mistake. I mean, we will get some minions up, but I was not wanting to get death penalty on Talcora. But not much, so it's not too bad. And getting some minions up is kind of good. Basically, I didn't expect the group that was spawned over there. Where are we at time? We are doing okay. These are probably going to be more like half an hour to 40-minute episodes rather than my usual, like, 15 to 20. Which is fine. I don't want to dawdle too long on, like, too many weeks in some of this part of the game, so whatever. Okay, so at this point, we want to make our way, back down this direction and start taking out some of these Charr forces that are on the wall. Ooh, there's some lost soldiers up here who may be able to help us. That would be good. I would take reinforcements. Hey, reinforcements. So actually, I think the best course of action is not is actually to go back the direction they were coming from. The reason why I say that is because I want to get behind the Charr forces, so that way we're not trying to attack up at them, but can attack down at them. And I think this direction will allow us to be able to do that. That's one of those spots where I kind of wish I had. Oh, whatever. This isn't going to be too bad. So we can just kind of... Well, again, once we have all these minions up, we can actually kill these guys relatively quickly. But yeah, so if we come this way, you can see we kind of come in behind the Charr and kind of above their forces rather than going up at them. So notably, in particular, this allows us to come above these stalkers here, for example. Which I think is a far superior direction of attack. Now that guy's running as well. They're running up kind of behind us. But yeah, now we can quickly take those guys down. And that's good. Basically what I want to do is I want to pin my guys here and drop this on this guy from range and back up. I want them to kind of come through like this. It's going to aggro a bunch of Charr to kind of come up this way. Oh, look at those meteor showers completely whiffing. Okay, so here comes an Axe Fiend. And I can drop an empathy on him. The basic point is never fight an enemy head on if you don't have to, right? And with careful application of very useful skills, we can avoid fighting enemies head on. And this kind of like distracts their whole line. They're running around, uncertain of how to get to us. No. And that's why I wanted Cry of Frustration. So I could say no. That is like... Mesmers are like blue in Magic. They just get a little bit of everything, and that allows them to be able to stop so much random stuff you just don't want to have happening to your party. Talcordier, could you find it in you to not stand so far forward? That would be great. Oh, I love how much damage I get out of empathy. It is so good. It is so good. I've probably done more damage with empathy than with just spears. Just been insanely good. Okay, and so we're slowly clearing out the Charr lines. And we'll go ahead and stop when we reunite with the Prince, I think. That's probably a good spot to call this one. Be a little bit longer yet. So I'm going to want to go up over there, but I think that's going to leave me fighting this flame wielder. Crap. Move. Okay, let's get these guys down. We don't need these guys on them. On us, whatever. I want to make sure that guy doesn't meteor shower us more. Boss down. That guy will go down momentarily, get some more energy, and clear out these Charr. Cool. Okay, so now that we've successfully gotten through those, what I want to do actually is I want to come around this way and take out these stalkers. Yeah. It's going to be helpful to get these guys out from this angle, rather than trying to do it from a different angle. Okay, so that was kind of like the last group of archers that we needed to clear out, apparently. Crap. So one of the things that I just saw, I don't know if you saw it or not, but a group of enemies were just like, we're going to go charge inside. And I'm like, crap, does that mean Prince Rurik's going to get himself killed? And there's a reasonable chance that the answer to that question is yes, and I would like to avoid that happening as much as possible. Yes, I see that you need healing. What do you want me to do? And that's it. That's what Prince Rurik does. That is what Prince Rurik does, everyone. That is Prince Rurik in a nutshell. That is Prince Rurik in a nutshell.